Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger, and I'm going to try to speak quickly for obvious reasons. Here's the deal, y'all. And J Cash has talked about what I'm about to talk about at length. Shout out to him. Check him out, y'all. You probably find a link to him in my community tab. He and I both have discussed this. Now, as MLS men, and to my Muslim brethren on Facebook, when I say MLS, I'm not talking about Muslim love stories. I'm talking about mixed and light-skinned men. As MLS men, J Cash and I both have experienced a similar phenomena. And I remember BGS IBMOR talking about this too. And speaking of BGS IBMOR, shout out to him as well. He's actually the one that brought several things to light regarding Ciara and Russell Wilson. And these are things that we need to factor in because what they actually teach us is it's deeper than what we think. Now, I would tell you, gentlemen, of course, if you are childless, you don't accept a situation like Russell did. I would say that. Absolutely. But understand, his first date with her was to a zoo. A zoo. Now, I like zoos because I like nature. I don't take women on dates to zoos. Granted, I'm a Muslim. My dating is within a marriage. But I don't do stuff. I mean, my wife and I have not been to a zoo. Then again, Saudi doesn't have a whole lot of zoos. Now, we've been in natural settings. We've actually been within a few feet of some wild monkeys in Malaysia. However, the fact is, I shouldn't have said Malaysia, man. I'm starting to get homesick for it. Dang. Messed up, isn't it? So anyway, fact is, what it comes down to in these areas is that she was intimately imprinted, apparently, by a guy that's similar to Russell, and that's the one that took her to prom. That's her first boyfriend. BGS knows more about it than I do. He's mentioned it. He can correct any details I might get wrong. That's her imprint. Slim Thug and LaToya Luckett did a talk about how imprints can't be rewritten, and I didn't even watch it. Book of Alpharonomy, shout out to him, did a cover on it. I've seen the video thumbnail for it, but I never clicked it. Why? It's real simple. If an imprint is not supposed to be rewritten, then we have to understand that the culture of the Western black woman is so much worse than we thought, because in their culture, I'm not saying it overrides biology, but I'm saying that in their culture, they seek to override biology, because if you can be a Russell Wilson type and intimately imprint a woman, why the hell is it that the culture says that such women should still allow street dudes, or even just wannabe street dudes, because Future didn't grow up street like that, to come along and rewrite the imprint? Why would you let them? They're not supposed to be able to do that. So why would you allow it? My answer, it's because in I-99A culture is the specialty, actually, of the hyenocracy. I used to think our people upheld this. Nope, it's not our people that uphold it. It's not passed on from the men. It's passed on maternally, matrilineally. It's upheld by them. So, what I wanted to tell you, gentlemen, in a nutshell, is that if you look at the actual ways that Russell Wilson and Ciara have been, you're going to notice a bunch of contradictions. It's not as clear cut as he's not her type, but she settled because she had a kid. It's not that clear cut. What it is that, you see, there are reasons to believe that he's not really her type. He was cheated on by his ex-wife. Women don't like men that other women cheat on, to be honest with you. And Melanie King and Donovan Sharp's wife or girlfriend, Devon, will tell you that. They will say, both of them have mentioned that, you know, what the next woman knows that the last woman did, even if she didn't get away with it, is what she's going to want to do. She's going to see you as being good for that, because deep down they know that they have a hive mind. They're not thinking individually. And on a subconscious level, if not consciously, they're aware of this. So this would be a reason that even if she did fancy someone like Russell, she does not fancy Russell himself. But the thing is this, his first date with her was to a zoo. He didn't have to do all this other stuff. Now, some might say, yeah, but he was about to take on her baby from another man. And yeah, that's true. But she didn't necessarily need that much money. He's making more than her, but she wasn't going to be hurting for money to raise Future's baby. And she had the good sense to care about a father figure for Future's baby. That's the good thing. What it appears to me to be is that she does fancy Russell. That's the imprint. She knows that as an NSBM, non-stereotypical black man, he is superior to the idness that 50 represents, used to be, and that Future represents and didn't even grow up to be. However, when you are an NSBM, and I know this as an MLS man, multi-generationally mixed, I'm not biracial, but you know, multi-generationally of an admixture. I know this. Jay Cash has seen this before, and some of the men in the golden sphere have dealt with this. And men that are just of that description. Selector J knows about this. He's dealt with this in Trinidad and Tobago. I interviewed him over a year ago. He's talked about this, brought us up to speed. And what it boils down to is that when you are an NSBM, even when you are in shape, even when you are a formidable opponent for anybody in a fight, because of not only your strength and training and speed, but also your stamina to play full-length football games. But you're not a idness, intentionally dysfunctional, negative stereotype. You and the minds of the hyenocracy cannot compete. And when an individual woman can understand the foolishness of that, she still cannot stand up to the social pressure. And so she will like you, fancy you, but she will feel ashamed of it. And even when she validates you by being with you, marrying you, having your kids, she will do so with a sense of embarrassment and some reservations, which would explain why it is that while he needs to toughen up to a certain extent, she still twerks. She has to have something that she can show her friends and her fans that she's doing that's not as good as what he deserves. This is what you're going to face, gentlemen. If you are an NSBM, the women that do like you, that are Western sisters, still are going to do this to you. Unless they have the courage to stand up to the hyenocracy and say, your culture is fup, it is negative, it is nasty, it is inferior, fit the duck out my face with that monkey scat. Until that day happens, you cannot afford to even give a chance to the sisters that can't stand up to the culture. Understand that, gentlemen. Keep that in mind. That's why I say to you that even if he is her type, and he might very well be, that's a deal I would not tell any of you childless brothers out there to accept, even when you are wealthy, let alone when neither one of you is. And also, gentlemen, this is something, I mean, you got to understand that you're going to be, it's like he's a side dude, a side piece, but publicly married to her, because she can't stand up to her friends. I wish I had better news than this. Thanks for listening. Black Card, Black Mind, Blackout, Assalamu Alaikum. Black heterosexual, non-select male power because they don't like it. And black patriarchy till extinction or judgment day.